Hey everyone, it's Cyclone here, and I thought I would bring you guys an interesting beer review. This is another Allagash, a brewer that I'm a very big fan of. They do some amazing stuff. All their beers are quality. But there's a beer tonight that I have for you all. I, first of all, did not do any prep or research on this one, but I saw the bottle. It was the last bottle available in the liquor store. And it is a 2014 Allagash Confluence Ale, fermented with Brettanomyces, dry hopped, with a ton, and I am talking about like it is physically present. The sediment from the Brettanomyces, the fermentation, it is staggering. It is a layer of stuff in the bottom of this bottle. It looks like soup. Now, I don't know, first of all, how this could be approaching a 4-year-old bottle decided to go back into rotation. But I can tell you this beer is valued at $22. This is the most expensive Allagash I will ever be reviewing. But I saw this, and I'm just afraid a dry-hopped ale might have lost some of its complexity being this old. But is it priced because of its rarity, or is it priced because it really is that damn good? That's what I'm about to find out. It's coming in at 7.4% alcohol by volume. Again, this is a 2014 Confluence, and I have no knowledge about this beer off the top of my head. So guys, I'm going to be unscrewing the cage, and we're going to be getting into this one. I'm very fascinated to see where this beer ends up. Again, I'm sorry, April 2014. Yeah, so guys, we're getting close to the 4-year mark. This beer is 3 years and 10 months old. It's now February 2018. An ale with dry hopping, Brettanomyces. Let's hope that Brettanomyces is good when it ages. I think actually that some of these ale styles can age quite well with the fermentation, the Brettanomyces, but the Brettanomyces, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I don't know what to expect with this. I'm looking at it going, why were you the last beer on the shelf? There was only one of these left when I got there, so I don't know. And the last time I went to the liquor store was probably 2 weeks ago, maybe. So it came in, you know, that time. Ooh, this cork is coming out fast. I hope it doesn't spill everywhere. Big, friggin' huge explosion there. Wow. Pop went right out of that bottle. It was dying to escape. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. I'm getting some nice tart notes with that. So guys, there's apparently a lot of carbonation in this sucker. It's actually warning you about how to pour it, and also that there was a lot of pressure in the bottle. So I see some smoke. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let's see what we're getting with this beer, guys. A nice, just typical Allagash style, a nice amber color. These guys do ales so well. They're some of the best, like, American ale makers, guys. German, American ales. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. And their barrel-aged stuff is just delicious, too. Definitely an unfiltered, guys. I can't see a goddamn thing through there. It is completely cloudy. Maybe the bottom, there's a little bit. A ton of bubbles. You guys see the bubbles? Aggressive champagne-like carbonation in this bad boy. Like, literally, this reminds me of champagne in a beer glass. The bubbles are just, like, it's like a never-ending torrent of bubbles. That's craziness. Wow. Super carbonated. There is a stench, a dankness. Wow. Wet, wet, wet wood. Wet, not moldy wood, but just wet, aged wood. Wow, there's some funk in here, guys. I'm getting orange peel. I'm getting wet hop. I'm getting Wet oak. Almost a bubblegum scent, guys. There is a lot of stench on this sucker. I'm getting some clove. I'm getting maybe a hint of vanilla or coconut even. And that the wood, the wet aged wood is just coming through the nose in this one. Wow. The yeastiness is probably adding to that. So intense carbonation, intense, wet, fruity, sour smells. Wow. Maybe even a slight apple nose in there. I'm not sure. Yeah. There's a lot of stench in this one. Guys, I definitely am interested in trying this beer, especially at its age and condition. Let's see what we end up with, guys. Here we go. Very dry. Surprisingly dry. I'm getting a lemon vibe in here. There is a, wow. There's a wet hop in here. It's kind of coating my palate. But it's not. What's funny is, I'm saying that, but it's actually a dry hop beer. I think that dry hopping, guys, just completely died out with the age of this beer. It's almost turned now into just a little essence in the back, you know. Very, very drinkable and light. Carbonation has calmed down a little bit. Still, bubbles are just dying to escape from this one. You see that head, guys? The head retention is crazy. I am almost getting some buttery notes in here now. Not to dessert or milk, porter, or stout levels, but maybe a hint of a cream ale or butteriness in here. There's a little bit of that going on. The malt is present. I'm getting a lot. You can taste the aged barrel in here. And you know that woodiness. I don't know if this was actually the fermentation process. The Brettanomyces. That's going to add to it, probably. But I gotta be completely honest. I'm not a master or that knowledgeable about the fermentation, the additions that fermentation brings to a beer. But I have seen beers with Brettanomyces in them. It adds to the body a lot. It's kind of this, and again, I don't want to say moldy, but it's a wet stink. Like you taste the container that this beer was in. You know what I'm saying? Malty, medium mouthfeel. This head is just never ending. Again, I'm just getting a lot of that yeastiness on the nose, yeastiness in the taste. It's just a big old yeasty ale. It's well made. but I don't. The hops are not here. The beer in this condition, guys, is cut and dry a yeasty ale. What's going on YouTube? It's Cyclone here. Been drinking this one for about 15 minutes. Really been thinking about this beer, contemplating it, and the more I drink it, and the more I've read up on, Brettanomyces, which I knew it was a yeast, but particularly it's a yeast in winemaking, which makes perfect sense because this beer is turning into a Chardonnay style. It is bringing out the white grape. It's bringing out a little bit of the corkiness. Some of the oakiness you get in a Chardonnay, it's in this beer. I can definitely tell that the wine yeast influence is in here, and I appreciate that. Chardonnay fans will love this beer. They will adore this beer. I would recommend this beer for wine fans if they want to get into like some beer tastings that aren't like Bud Light. I would point towards this Confluence. This would be a good gateway between beer and wine. This is a nice contender. A nice dry, pleasant to drink beer. 93 from me, guys. Let's take a look and see if we can find this beer on the retired list. Let's find out. Okay. I only have Confluence Raspberry. I don't have Confluence on the retired. Maybe it's a current now? Hang on a second. Yeah. There it is. They've re-released this shit. Beer Advocate is giving it a 4.04, guys. A-. Exactly what I was giving it as well. So, very interesting, guys. The version here, 2009 on the picture. This is the 2014. I don't know what the last beer they released of this stuff is. Bottled 2/3/2016. Okay. I'm with a rustic taste, follows a bright vibrancy, lemon peel, rustic farmhouse. I'm just reading a more modern take on this beer, a 2016, much newer than the one I have. This guy gave it a 4.72. Lemon peel, farmhouse, a bit of hops. Yeah, guys, again, I may have given this an A if it was a newer beer, but for being aged, it's mellowed out. And it's just now fully featuring the Brett and the ale. It's not, the hop qualities have kind of died out with this one. They're a little bit in here, but not not where they could be. This guy is talking about some more herbal. Yeah. Yep. I would be interested to see this beer fresher than what I've had it. It's still, as I said, 93 from me. It's a high A-, knocking on an A, and for being near 4 years old, I think it aged very well in the bottle. I'm also glad that I got to try the 2014 edition because this one's probably hard to get your hands on. The older a beer gets, the harder it is to get your hands on it. So, guys, I'm very glad I got to try this in the last pour. I mean, there was all this. Give me one more chance of this. I just poured out the bottom, and the bottom did appear to have some sediment, and it looks like it's even cloudier than it was before. The bottom has no light coming through at all. It's really well made, guys. It's just not quite on the A mark. It's high A- for me. So, guys, if you've had Confluence by Allagash, let me know what you think. But until next time, guys, this is Cyclone signing out. I will see you on the next beer review.